language, we fail to communicate with the students regularly. We have to understand the reason behind that. Then only we can expect something from the students. Often we insist the students to communicate with others in the English. We ourselves insist all the students, but whatever the situation of ourselves, we fail in that. See, first of all, we have to correct ourselves. So, before entering the particular topic, we have to know about the communication. See, communication in the sense, first of all, before starting our communication, we have to define and understand the process of communication. We have to define and understand the process of communication. Then we have to list and overcome the process in the communication. We have to overcome what is the process of communication. Then we have to involve ourselves in the active listening. Active listening. Finally, we have to differentiate the verbal and non-verbal communication. That is the main thing. These are the two major divisions in the communication. That is verbal and non-verbal. If we prepare in all these, we can give our proper communication to others. So you must check yourself. See, what is communication? We all know that. See, communication is the art of transmitting our ideas, our concepts, and our attitudes from one person to another. This is called communication. It is a process of meaningful interaction. That is the main thing. It is a process of meaningful interaction among ourselves, among human beings. We all know that we humans alone can communicate with all the humans by using the words, not all other beings. We know that. See, it is communication is a personal process between the humans. See, communication, by the proper communication, we can influence other persons. We can attract other person. If we use the proper communication in the sense, we can easily attract other persons. That is a true aspect of communication. Usually, we use 4 different ways to communicate with other person. Can you say what are the 4 things usually we use to communicate with other person? What are the 4 things? What are the most probable 4 ways? Can anybody? Body language. Then attitude in the sense listening. Then imitating. Then see, my question is, in what ways we communicate with other persons? That's it. Verbal and non-verbal in the sense that is subject oriented. I ask basically.
It's either orally
or gestures in the sense body language. Gestures just coming under the body language. That is also body language.
Sir, either orally or written.
Orally or written. Then exactly we may take that we communicate with the other person by written word. That is written. Or the spoken. That is orally. And by the visual images, by showing some of the pictures, we can communicate with other person. And then finally, body language. If we don't know about all other these things, finally we come to the part of body language. That means by using gestures, body language like that. See, as well, some of the types are there in communication. Can you define that? Just before we talk about the ways to communicate. Do you know about the parts in the communication? We fail in the two. while I had a conversation with you first days, I noted a lot of times you failed in that. Because in my thought you don't know about the types in communication. Do you have any idea regarding that?
Sir, aggressive, passive, non-aggressive.
Pardon?
I mean, different types of communication. Aggressive, passive.
Aggressive, passive. That is tone oriented.
Yes. When it comes to individual, there are different types of. Under that, you have aggressive, passive,
Aggressive, passive.
and non-aggressive and non-aggressive.
That is, your points are based on the emotion.
The attitude of the individual, how they speak.
See, simply I ask a question. If you communicate with your friend, what kind of tone will you use? If you communicate with your higher authority, formal and informal, the tone will be varied. If you communicate with your child, you have to use the different kind of tone. That is the types in communication. First of all, we have to understand that. See, basically there are three types in communication. That is downward communication, upward communication, the horizontal communication. These are the three main types in communication. First you understand that. Downward communication, upward communication, and the horizontal communication. See, downward communication in the sense from seniors to junior, from higher authority to lower authority. If our cursor talks with us in the sense, it is coming under downward communication. The second one is upward communication. If we give our feedback, our opinion, our ideas to that person, it is coming under the upward communication. Then what would be the horizontal communication? Yes, among our friends, colleagues, your equal grade people. If you talk with your friend or your equal grade people, it is coming under the horizontal communication. You must note that. You have to aware about that. So first of all, we have to analyze ourselves before starting our talk towards other person. See, I am an encoder. You are the decoder. What is that? I encode something to you. You decode something from me. What is that?
You are giving the message and we are working accordingly.
You see, if I say something to you, that is encoding. Yes, if you understand that properly in the sense, that is called decoding. But if you fail to decode my words, that is the problem of communication. Between you and myself, there are a lot of barriers. What are the barriers it would be in the communication? Tell me that. Using, how can we say, inappropriate medium. If I speak in the sense, you have to understand my language. If you don't know my language, you can't understand what I want to say. That is inappropriate medium. And then misconception. What is that misconception? Understanding wrongly, wrong understanding about me, my words. And then language difference. If I speak in the language which you don't know, that communication will not be fulfilled. And then the poor listening skills. That is the main thing. If I talk a lot, you fail in listening, that conversation might be unfulfilled. So you have to give your full concentration towards the listening. So these are the barriers in communication. Finally, so leave all the things, what is said already. For the better communication, we have to do something essential for the better communication. We have to do something. For the better communication, first of all, that is also we are going to do now. So you must be aware of what are you going to talk. That's what you are going to do now. That's why I informed you before 3 days. I gave you the timing for the preparation. So first of all, you must be aware of what are you going to talk in front of others. These are essential. My points are essential for the proper communication. Kindly note down that. First of all, we have to aware about what are you going to talk. Then always use the simple words for the communication. Don't compel your knowledge to use the tight words or tough words from the literature. It's enough to use just words to communicate. Use simple words. See, whatever it may be, speak clearly and audibly. Whatever it may be, speak clearly and audibly. See, these are, and as well, do not speak too fast. One who is speaking fast, that doesn't come under the proper communication. You have to judge whether your opposite person are ready to understand your language if you speak too fast. We have to estimate the opposite person before going to start to speak in front of anybody. You have to judge the opposite person. So these are the main things. So just estimate yourself and the opposite person too. See, this is a new global. We know that a diverse working place like IVL school requires a lot of communication skills from you. So work according to that. As we are teachers, we should be the role model for the students. So you just do your part sincerely. I humbly request you to complete this session fruitful. It's your responsibility. Okay, thank you, my dear teachers. Thank you.